Hi everyone, welcome to this first video on our channel that I will be doing with the various items that go into the build of our GT40 replica. A lot of these parts will be useful on other kit car builds and the common applications I will try and touch upon as I go through. So first up is our forged aluminium upright kit. Please be aware that this is similar in appearance to some cast versions made by other companies. However, forging the upright leads to far stronger mechanical properties that are also much more consistent throughout the product. The cast versions do have a bit of a reputation for breaking, so that's why we decided to forge them, and since doing that there's been no recorded cases of any failures. If you wish to purchase this product, then you'll find a link to our website in the description where you can buy online. Please like and subscribe to our channel, then you'll get notifications when we do other videos in the series. Please leave comments if you have any questions and I'll try and answer them for you. These forged uprights are based around Cortina geometry, as that's been a very popular donor vehicle for the kit car industry for a very long time. As Cortinas are now as rare as hen's teeth, these forged aluminium versions are serving as a way of continuing the supply without major design changes, and are also a good upgrade to older cars that use the standard heavy original Cortina parts. GT40s are commonly built around Granada donor parts, and these uprights themselves, there are very few differences between the Granada and Cortina. It's really just a slight difference in the stub axle position. All the real differences are in the hubs, which luckily are interchangeable, and we also do billet machined aluminium Granada type hubs that will fit these uprights, and they are also available on our website. To assemble this kit you'll need a few tools, not shown here because I don't have any to hand at the moment. You'll need some Loctite 638 stud and bearing fit compound, and also some Loctite 243 thread locking compound. In addition to that, you'll need a 6mm Allen key, an 8mm Allen key, a 19mm socket, and that should do. A written version of these instructions can be found in the Dropbox shared folder that all GT40 builders of ours get access to. We term this the RCV02 upright kit because that's the part number, and it can be used with several different brake kits, and they all require different brake caliper mounting brackets. Included in the kit is a steel item that replicates the original caliper mounting position on the Cortina and Granada, and that's used for the GT40. All our brake kits are based around using that mount. Also included in the kit is a machined aluminium bracket, but this is really useful on small kit cars that use the wheel, that are going to use the Willwood Powerlight caliper kits. Things like Lotus 7s, that kind of a car that make use of these uprights as well. So the first thing, when you open the box, you'll obviously have a forged aluminium upright of itself, the two caliper mounting brackets that we've spoken about, a bag of nuts and bolts, and these top hat tapered spacers that you'll need later. These are a drop forged steel steering arms, and finally the stub axle itself. So for this case, as we're talking about a GT40, I'm going to put that to one side and just concentrate on the other caliper bracket. We do a 4-pot and a 6-pot front brake kit that use this, that are suitable for use with this upright kit. Both Willwood calipers. One uses a 298mm disc, and the other one uses a 295mm disc on a aluminium disc belt. Again, those brake kits could be found on our website. So the first stage in putting one of these uprights together is to bolt in the stub axle. Supplied in the kit is this shim. Now, depending on what brake kit you've got and what your application is, you may or may not need to use that shim to shim the hub position to suit your brake kit. On our kits, they're all done to not have to use the shim. In the bag of nuts and bolts, M12 bolt with a big chunky washer. Recommend using the Loctite thread locking compound on this bolt because essentially this is holding your wheel on. 19mm socket. Okay, so first step, fit the stub axle, just press it in, use the big fat washer and the M12 bolt in the back. Tighten with the 19mm socket. So the next thing to do is put the caliper mounting bracket on so that the 3 holes line up, and use the M8 cap head screws to attach it. Okay, after you've got the caliper bracket on, the next thing is to fit these conical top hat spacers in. There's one in the top, and there's one in the bottom, already fitted here. Loctite stud lock and bearing fits compound here, because when you come to do the ball joints up, you don't want those spinning. Right, so the next step, fit the lower ball joint, in this case a maxi style one. There's some big washers in there that need to go on, and then do the lock nut up. You may need to tap this in with a hammer in order to form the taper lock first. I won't do this up tight because I need to take this apart again. The only reason really to put the ball joint in now is that it becomes a little bit more difficult to do up when you fit the steering arm. Now, we only supply drop forged steering arms. Some of the other competitors that supply a similar type of product are using a fabricated steering arm, and there's been a lot of problems with those breaking. Now, obviously this is super safety critical part of the car, so insist only on using drop forged steel steering arms. The upright cast forging itself is unhanded. It can either go on the left or right hand. It's the position of the caliper bracket and the steering arm that determines whether it's left or right handed. The ball joint pickup is always opposite the caliper mounting bracket. M10 bolt with the plain shank through the deeper boss and the steering arm, and the shorter M10 cap head on the other bolt hole. If you want to know what the torque settings should be for these, in the shared Dropbox folder there is a document that will give you recommended torque settings for different bolt sizes. Notice in the steering arm there's another one of these tapered top hats that goes in for the ball joint. Again, you want to be using Loctite stud and bearing fit compound there. And that's essentially the upright built. When you get your hubs, obviously the hub goes on, then this big washer, stub axle nut, and then, like on all old fashioned cars, castellated vernier style keep plate, and split pin arrangement that sets your preload on the bearings. And that's it. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found you got something out of it. If you want to buy the product, like I say, there's a link in the description below. You can check out our website where there's lots of other products, and obviously the GT40 kit itself. Like and subscribe, you'll get notifications of any other videos we do. Until then, thanks for watching.